The quiet rise, bowel cancer in young adults around the world and in Australia. You might have heard more and more young people, even in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, are being diagnosed with bowel cancer. That used to be rare. It's becoming disturbingly common, not just globally, but right here in Australia. So, what's going on? Why? Why is that? Doctors and researchers have been tracking this closely, and while there's no single explanation, the numbers are too clear and too concerning to ignore. Let's start with what the data is telling us. The numbers should make us all pause. Globally, bowel cancer is rising in people under 50. In the US, the number of young adults with colorectal cancer has been going up by about 2.4% every year, but it's not rising equally across all ages. Among 20 to 29-year-olds, it's accelerating fast, around 7.9% per year. For people in their 30s, it's rising at 3.4% annually. Now let's bring it home to Australia. In the year 2000, fewer than 1,000 Australians under 50 were diagnosed with bowel cancer. By 2024, the number has more than doubled, reaching 2,000 cases per year. And here's the problem. Australia now has the highest rate of early onset bowel cancer in the world, around 16.5 cases per 100,000 people under 50. That should be the headline news. The hardest truth is that not only that more people are getting it, some are also dying from it. In Australians in their 30s, the death rate from bowel cancer rose from 1.8 to 2.8 per 100,000 between 2000 and 2024. That's a full 1% increase per 100,000, and we are talking about people in their prime of their lives. Interestingly, death rates in the 40s age group are starting to fall, like due to early detection. But that only makes the trend in younger adults even more striking. So the big question is, why? Why are more young adults who don't fit the old textbook profile developing a cancer that used to belong to much older age groups? There's no single answer. But here, we are starting to understand the 5 major drivers. Let's go through them. First, lifestyle. This one won't surprise you. We live in a world where ultra-processed foods are cheap and everywhere. Sugary drinks, red meat, poor fiber intake, lots of sitting. It adds up. Obesity rates have gone up, and so has inactivity. These things put enormous pressure on the gut over time. But no, it's not about blaming anyone. It's the environment we all live in. But it's something we can change. Second, a gut toxin picked up in early childhood. Now, this one's less well known, but it's arguably more chilling. There's a specific strain of E. coli that produces a toxin called colibactin. If you pick this up as a child, say before 10 years of age, it can leave behind genetic scars in your gut. Scars that don't show up right away. They sit there quietly, and sometimes decades later, they are found in the DNA of bowel cancer tumors. In fact, a massive international study found these colibactin-induced mutations were 3 times more common in people diagnosed under 40. It's not fear-mongering, it's biology, and it's giving researchers a whole new way of thinking about early life risk. Third, your gut microbiome. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria. Some help you, some frankly don't. The modern Western lifestyle, full of antibiotics, stress, processed food, and poor sleep, disrupts this delicate ecosystem. And when your gut bacteria fall out of balance, increases inflammation, a known driver of cancer. This is why you're seeing gut health explode on social media. Gut talk is real, though not always accurate. People are waking up to the idea that your gut might be your health control center. Fourth, sleep and circadian rhythms. This one doesn't get talked about enough. Shift work, late nights, endless scrolling, they all disrupt the body's natural clock, and that has consequences. Disrupted sleep patterns affect how your body repairs DNA, regulates inflammation, and fights off abnormal cells. Some studies even show shift workers have higher rates of colorectal cancer. So, yes, your body clock matters, maybe more than we realized. And fifth, chemicals in the modern world. We are surrounded by them: plastics, packaging, cleaning sprays, food containers. Some of these include endocrine disrupting chemicals like BPA and phthalates, which interfere with your hormones, and hormone disruption is linked to increased cancer risk. It's not about one bottle or one takeout box, it's about years of daily exposure, often unnoticed. And while the science here is still evolving, it's worth being mindful of what we put in and on our bodies. So, what do we do with all this? Here in Australia, the government has lowered the bowel screening age from 50 to 45. That's a start. But if you're under 45 and you have symptoms, blood in your stool, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, you need to be seen. Don't wait. Don't dismiss it. If you have a family history, talk to your doctor. You may need screening even earlier. And for all of us, no matter what our age, the basics still matter. Eat more fiber, move your body, sleep like life depends on it. Be mindful of what your gut's exposed to, from food to stress chemicals. The bottom line: this is no longer your grandfather's cancer. It's hitting younger Australians, and we need to start talking about it. Because catching it early makes all the difference, and catching the why might just help us prevent the next wave. I'm Dr. Chris Ho, and this is No Hype, No Nonsense Health Podcast.